Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Hans Fakir, the healthcare CEO, and guess what? We are on episode 17, D-Set in Creole. That's right. My family's from Haiti. I don't know how to speak a lot of it, but I just asked my guest how to say 17 in Creole because he is Haitian too, and he is part of this team that owns one of the best home care businesses in all of Georgia. Listen, not only do they own it, but they've mentored so many people and showed so many people how to be successful in this game. But the reason I have them is because they're husband and wife, and they're my family. And I've just watched them grow and go through all the obstacles and figure out the way to just be a successful empire. So without further ado, I want to introduce one of the best and most special guests on the Healthcare Podcast CEO, Miss Candace Mellon and Tony Mellon. Let's go!
Good morning. Good
I'm
morning.
going to excuse my engineer because she still doesn't clap. We're going to do that intro one more time. Melanie. Hey, goodness. First day on the job, we're going to give Melanie a pass. She's making sure y'all look good. Thank you so much, Mrs. Mellon and Mr. Mellon.
Thank you for having
just met these
us.
people.
Thank
They're
you
not my
so.
cousin.
Thank you for having us.
Listen, we have a couple of house rules that we always tell all of our guests, right? And one of them is you leave your keys at the door. We do not do gatekeeping. That's one thing we do, right? And another thing is 10% motivation, 90% information. We want to make sure that at the end of the day, if there's a couple looking to start a Burger King, McDonald's, or home care, they can take the blueprint and the breadcrumbs that you guys left behind so they can gain a success, and we hopefully people surpass our success, right?
Exactly.
And stuff like that. So one of the reasons why I got you here is not because you guys are great people individually, but sometimes egos, everything comes in place. Now, you guys have to make your household work, which you guys have 3 beautiful kids. Y'all want to name them?
Gabby, Nala, and Shayla.
Shout out to all my nieces, Gabby, Nala, and Shayla. But you guys have to weather storms and show them, hey, not only can we become successful parents, right? But we become successful parents to start a successful business,
Yes.
right? And help other people. So there's a lot of shit y'all got on y'all plate, right? But God has said, hey, 2 more minutes, I got y'all. And y'all waited those 2 more minutes, and now you're on the other side of it, right? So we're going to talk about that and show people how to be a successful, is it CEO and CFO?
Yeah. CEO, CFO.
See how they worked that shit out? They was about to mix it. You
Actually,
saw that?
No.
Here we go.
Actually, stand corrected.
Okay.
CEO, and I'm the COO.
Okay, see? It's all about communication. We just figured out. Podcast over. Let's go. Yeah, worked it out. Y'all figured that shit out too. But,
Our daughter, our middle daughter, Nala, your niece, she is the CFO of our company.
So you guys are keeping things in the family.
Building a legacy.
This is amazing.
Absolutely.
All right, so of course we are praised to be in your presence, Tony and Candace. But as our parents taught us, ladies go first. So Miss Mellon, how did you get into healthcare?
I ventured into healthcare about 30 years ago as an LPN, a licensed practical nurse, and then eventually becoming a certified respiratory therapist. Worked in home health my whole career and, bucked up against some challenges, which were financial, working hard and not making much, and decided to open my own home health company.
How long did you do the LPN? Because you were you just said you went from LPN to respiratory therapist. So there was always a search for how do I get more, even when you were in corporate.
Yeah.
What made you go to respiratory therapist, which that's what my dad did? What made you do that?
Well, because I wanted to honestly understand a little bit more about the physiological part of the lung and the heart connection.
We don't use big words on this podcast.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I have to reset my brain. I got to reset my brain. I just wanted to understand the way the body worked better, right? And as an LPN, I didn't learn a lot of the, just the functionality. And so for me, it was just going to help me be a stronger nurse.
Okay. So again, we're going to keep telling you guys, you guys pay attention to things. It's never about the money. Even at an earlier stage, her why was, how do I become better at my job? Even if I have to go back to school, right? And so that is crazy that you did that without thinking you're going to be here.
Yeah.
Right? And so one of the things I think people will understand entrepreneurship is you might not see the end of the road.
Right.
You just got to do what you love.
Yeah.
And we're going to get more into that. So you guys already know someone has a healthcare background, but do you have a degree in healthcare?
No, I don't.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, I knew this, but I'm going to
Yeah.
pretend like I don't know y'all.
Yeah.
Right. But this is why I tell people, man, it's for everyone. So I know we're doing 90% information, but this is a very motivating thing because you make more than most CEOs that have medical degrees.
Right.
Well, and so, what would you tell that person right now? Oh, camera, look, right? That's looking to get into that and don't have a degree.
Well, I would say that most people that have made it don't require a degree. What you require is endurance, fortitude, and belief in oneself. So, a lot of times you'll find that people don't get to the next plateau or the next level because every time the new idea comes up, they jump on board. And you can't. You have to stick with one thing. You have to master it. You have to become an expert at your craft. And then before you know it, you're at the next level.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that. Candace had a couple of hard conversations like, look, nigga, stay focused. I was like, so I'm guilty of that, and I know that. So I appreciate you. Listen, it's
my
full
God.
transparency, right? But you have told me that. And it's like, you got to have those people around you that will say, hey,
Yeah.
I see the greatness in you, but the greatness is spread too thin.
Yeah.
And so you got to have those uncomfortable conversations. And you told me that on 2 occasions. I never was like, no. I was like, oh, you're right, sis.
Yeah.
Let's get it. So I think people need to pay attention to that. She's not telling y'all something that you haven't told me.
And I tell myself that.
Yeah.
Most importantly, everything that I share with people, I share with myself because, overall, we're our own worst critics, and so we have to make sure that we have positive mind chatter. And I tell myself that, just stay focused. Even when it gets rough, you got to keep going. Don't look to the left or the right. Look towards the sun. It's going to get better. And so that's kind of what I do.
Positive mind chatter. I like that.
Yes.
All right, Tone, it's on you now.
Yes, sir.
So this guy right here, again, we're going to talk about service. You heard what Candace said. She was all about the business of being in corporate sector, but even with the corporate sector, she didn't limit herself, and she said, hey, I'm going to be a better servant to people by educating myself in a whole different other area of
Right.
healthcare. So this guy is in another area of healthcare where he protects people, right, to keep us healthy. So Tony was a former police and a sergeant or lieutenant.
I made it to sergeant.
And what did you start off as?
I started up as a regular patrol officer.
And then from patrol, what's the next step after patrol?
After patrol, really, it's different here. Different departments are different. So here, you could spend your entire life on patrol. It's up to you as to the path you choose.
But what's the steps to get into, like, is it patrol? Like, the fire department was firefighter, medic, lieutenant, captain. How'd you go from patrol to sergeant? Was there anything in between?
Basically, in between, I did criminal investigation. I was a detective for 12 years.
Wow,
I did
what did
10 years of child crimes and 2 years of general.
And the reason I ask is there's such a correlation with you two. It's like no matter what capacity we serve, we're going to constantly figure out how do we educate ourselves to keep being
Correct.
better at what we're doing. So I wanted to kind of ask you, like, was there just from patrol to sergeant, or was there
Well,
those steps?
With that's what I was saying is to become a sergeant, you have to assess. So it's a test. It's about a 2-day long battery of tests. You have an oral presentation, you have a written test, you have the whole gamut. Scenario-based test, and from there you're put into a pool, and once your number comes up, if you're the one that's chosen, you're the one that gets promoted.
Wow. But again, it's still learning a different side of
Yeah.
the law,
The law.
right? Because you pulled me over 3 or 4 times, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm just making that shit up here now.
So crazy.
They never pull me up. Well, we would not be on this podcast today. Hell no, I ain't interviewing him. But you've done that from being in a patrol and, again, putting your life on the line, which
Yes,
is
sir.
huge. So appreciate your service, right? But not only that, saying, how can I be better? So now you did crime scene dealing with kids. And we even in this podcast, we're looking at how everything comes into fruition where your main clientele is
Our
kids.
kids,
So you
correct.
have another invested interest
Yeah.
in dealing with not only kids from a criminal where something was done to them, but dealing with kids that had something, they were born with something, right?
Yes.
Correct. With
So you guys both are in the serving
Right.
thing, and that's one of the
Right.
things that we read in the Bible all the time, right? Is how do you be a better servant?
Right.
But now, Candace, you were corporate, but you always had that entrepreneurial bug inside of
Yes,
you.
yes.
Where did that come from?
My mother.
Uh-huh.
Yes, my mother, was born in Trinidad
Okay.
and came here, and my grandmother on a boat. And my mother worked very hard. She did go to school, and I went to college, university, and then she became a designer. So, with her entrepreneurial spirit, it pushed her to do some really great things. She actually designed the inside of Air Force One.
What?
Yep, my mother was on that team, and she designed the inside of the Miami Heat's plane when she was alive. So those are some of the things that she did, and it just showed me that no matter where you come from or what your journey was or your walk of life, you can do anything you believe you can do.
And I knew your mama. I didn't know that. That's super dope. Shout out to moms, rest in peace. All the three of our moms are never going to get
Yes.
here no more. But all three of our moms were entrepreneurs in so many ways. So
Exactly,
that
exactly.
is crazy. We're learning a lot about each other. You guys are learning this in real time. This is not scripted, right? And so that pushed you at what point? Because you were a respiratory therapist, making decent money, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
I mean, we made enough. We had to work so many hours just to keep everything floating, for the family. And for me, it was, as the family grew, we have three daughters, and as the family grew, the needs became larger. And with the needs becoming larger and then the financial not matching the need, I had to start thinking on a different level and then determine that everything that I learned over the years of working, I was going to take and utilize to do something for my family and myself.
What do you remember that one moment when you're like,
I
all
do.
right, done?
Yep, I do.
What
Yep.
happened?
I was supposed to get a raise. And generally, we would get raises that were like between 47 cents and 57 cents.
For the hospital or? We don't have
This
to
for
mention
the home
name.
health companies. And we were supposed to get a raise and a bonus. And I learned the word fundable that day. By definition, a fundable is, you create something, but you can't really do too much with it because you have to spread it out, to replicate what you're doing. And he said, well, I know we've grown a $10 million business, but we can't give you a raise again because
said can or can't?
Can't
Okay.
give you a raise because we are going to replicate what you guys have created here 32 times.
Wait, time out. You was part of helping them make money.
Yes.
And they're like, but we can't give you a part of that money, but we're going to take your idea.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And so that's when I decided that day that I wanted to do this for myself. Take everything that I learned throughout this journey and tweak it, fix it, make sure it was perfected, and then open it for ourselves.
That is cool. You remember what year that was?
No.
Melanie.
yeah.
Awesome. So that led you to open up your first company.
Yes.
Which was?
Premier Staffing Solutions.
Nice. And that is a what? For
Yeah.
those that don't know, right? We're just going to leave no stone unturned. What is it? I know that's the name, but what is?
Premier Staffing Solutions was a home care company. Same type of company that we're in now. Provide medically fragile children a service through a nurse and just make sure that they could stay at home with their disease component.
So this is what you did for the other company. You helped
Yes.
them grow. They gave you that no on your raise, and you're like, I'm going to do this on my own.
Yes.
That is crazy.
Yes.
So it was Premier,
Yes.
right? So you talked to your hubby. How was that conversation?
At first, it was hard because it was like, are you sure? Because we were just making enough,
Yeah.
right? And so you have to look at the big picture and you ask yourself, like, I understand you want to do this and I will support you, but like, how are we going to do this? Because
Yeah.
are we going to lose our house in the process? Like, how is this going to work? And with him being the saver that he is, there's, yin and yang. I'm the spender, he's the saver.
Yeah.
And so he was, willing to help and to fund. And while doing that, we were able to do well and open a company and sell it within 4 years.
Yeah, which was super dope, right? So then, Tony, coming to you, I know you as well, very conservative. You're like, hey, I'm a
Very.
double dot the I's, double cross the T's. But, and you and I have always had our entrepreneurial ideas, but we just never seen it right through. So it was in you, but what made you go, okay, my wife wants to do this, but the numbers ain't lining up, but you backed it anyways.
It wasn't that the numbers weren't lining up. It was my wife wanted to do this. I'm a supporter. At the time, believe it or not, I think my salary at the police department was $36,600.
Yeah, I did your taxes, I remember.
Yeah. So, even with that, what I always tell people is whenever you get paid, you got to pay yourself 1st. So, meaning, and I'll give you a perfect example: $36,600. I'd get paid maybe $1,000 every 2 weeks, but out of that, $50 was mine. $50 was mine. I could do whatever.
You
I
could make
wanted to do with
36 look like 76.
it. Exactly.
Yeah,
So that every week, putting away that $50, it grew.
But how did
Yeah.
that, and I understood you were very good with your thing, but how did that say, if I do these things, I can support her? Do I need to now pay myself 25?
No, and that's the thing. As I knocked down debt, what I paid myself increased. So as that increased, I had more money that I could
Allocate.
invest into the business.
And credit.
So therefore,
Whatever it
credit,
took, right?
exactly.
So if you're looking at another person in your situation that has a significant other that wants to do that, is your advice to them, hey, assess your finances and how you can adjust it for that person?
Assess it, and you gotta support them.
Okay.
You gotta. If you're not your spouse's number one cheerleader,
Okay.
who's gonna be that person's number one cheerleader?
You heard that,
And
Melanie?
and that's for anybody, whether it's the male or the female, or
Thank you.
and
Yeah.
female relationship, male relationship, whichever way, the other party has to be supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You
that's
gotta have each other's back.
I love it because you guys went through a have each other's back in a very pivotal point with the first company.
Yes.
Right? So talk about how much you want to talk about. You ended up selling it.
Yes.
Maybe for not what you wanted, but
Well,
everything.
I learned something about
I
that.
was telling the last guy, nothing's a bad lesson because if you learn something, it's actually a good thing because
Yes.
it sets you up for this one.
Well, what I learned in selling a home care company in this region is you want to sell to someone that's outside of the region. And the key factor in that is the people that work for you, 9 times out of 10, work for someone else that you're selling to. Most companies will only allow employees to work 40 hours because, of the overtime and, things of that nature and just the cost. So what we found was we were selling to the second largest home care company in the nation, but they were local and we shared all of the same employees. So what was supposed to be a huge deal ended up getting cut down in half because a lot of the employees said, oh no, I already work for them and they're not going to give me any more hours. So I'm going to go to this other company over here. And so I learned that. And so now, yes, the valuation changed big time because it was like we shared all the same employees.
So that's a great segue into this next question. Me, I've done the same thing, right? I had to start over, but I didn't have like a spouse. So what was that conversation between you guys? Like, okay, we did this. Are we exhausted, or do we go back and do this again and do it
As far
even
as
better?
redoing it, actually, believe it or not, it was me.
You wanted to do it. So Candace, you was what, tapped out?
Tapped out, and in addition, just for, legal reasons, it was like, I had non-competes and things of that nature.
Yeah, which most people make you sign.
So, and I was just like, I'm kind of exhausted. I'm mentally exhausted from this because when you're selling your company that you've built, right, just the work into it, and then you realize that you're sharing all the same employees and you're thinking you're getting this huge number and you don't, you're like, oh man, you're mentally depleted. Yes.
Wow. And so when your husband comes to you and goes, what do you say? Let's go at this one more time?
At that time, her non-compete was over. And I was helping her with something. I don't remember exactly what. And I said, you know what? We should do this for ourselves. She's like, well, not really, babe. I just got out of my non-compete. I was working. And I guess, I don't know if she got tired of something. And she came back. She's like, all right, let's do it.
Well, what happened?
The truth of the matter is, couple things. With not having a 4-year college degree in a degreed state, you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do because most jobs they're going to want that piece of paper to get you a salary that is going to be affordable or comparable to what you're used to. And then with him, my husband saying, let's do it. Just that support helps a lot because with Tony, the big benefits of having a personality type like Tony's is he's tight on the dollar. He's going to have perfect credit. And if he's involved, all the numbers are going to line up. I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how it comes back full circle because at first it was like, hey, Tony, this is my idea. And Tony goes, let's run it. Now Tony goes back to you and he goes, hey, this is my idea. And you go, hey, let's run it.
Yeah.
So either way, it's like, well, if it wasn't for you, we'd be here. If it wasn't for you, okay, it doesn't matter. Now we're both thinking the same
It's a
thing, just
cohesive effect.
at different stages.
Yeah.
So is there any part where the faith overcomes the doubt? Because we all have doubts,
Yes,
right?
right.
So it's like, but you got to have enough faith for the other person, even when they might doubt it.
Yeah, we go through that just like most couples. Like, I'm a dice roller.
Yeah. Me
So
too.
yeah, big risk. That's my joy, right? But with him being conservative, that gives us that nice balance, right?
Yes.
So, for example, when one of the other home care companies was closing,
Mm-hmm.
they reached out to us, and actually, it was the company that we sold Premier to.
What?
And they,
Full
reached out
circle.
to us, full circle moment, and they didn't want to sell it. They just gave it to us. So, it was like we had like 72 hours to do a big project. And Tony was like, "Oh, that's a lot. I don't know. Like, that's a lot." And I'm like, "Let's roll it. Let's do it. We got this."
Yeah.
And, we have a great team. So I was like, "Okay, guys," I had to sit everybody down and be like, "Look, next 3 days we're not sleeping, we're just
Yeah.
working, let's push this through." And then it was very beneficial and it works. And it just we just balance each other.
So that brings up a good question. So where does this come from? Early when I introduced you guys, I think one person was CEO, which is like, no, he's a CEO. A lot of people. I'm mentoring a group in Maryland. They're doctors and attorneys, and I'm mentoring them. And they're like, no, I'm the CEO. I'm like, it doesn't freaking matter. But I just noticed that she was like, look, he's this. I don't need to be the first person. So where was that? A lot of conversation, or it was just humility on both? Like, we don't care.
My husband, let me just say this. I had
And
to.
it's two part. When you say this, also I want either one of you guys to tell people why that's not important.
Right. So for me, it was important for Tony to lead because I felt like with my personality, most people saw Candace, the hospitals, the nurses, everybody saw Candace. Well, for me, it was like I was ready for everybody to see my husband, my better half, right? This is the person that is like the force behind me.
Yes.
And so for him being the CEO, I was very happy for him to be the CEO. I love to go to him, and I always tell him, like, listen, babe, every conversation is not an argument. Like,
Yeah.
we need to have healthy conversations about our business. And a lot of times, the reason why relationships get kind of like, shaky when they're in business together is because you have to learn how to communicate together effectively about your business. And as him being the CEO, it just garnered so much respect from me to him as the leader of our household and as the leader of the company.
Yeah.
And I really was tired of just being in the front.
Yeah.
I wanted my husband to take over and, me kind of fall back a little bit.
Yeah. How did you take on? Because you are a quiet person. You're more. I don't know if you see it. I think of you as more of an introvert, right? When it comes to being on the podcast, it's like. But I've noticed the growth, right? And a little bit of that is like, hey, my wife gave me this position, or we agreed to it, however you guys want to say it. But I've seen you've accepted with grace, right? I see you now doing like when you guys do the giveaways for your employees.
Yeah.
You're in the pictures. Have you embraced that? And it's still been like, I got to put my ego down now. And like you've embraced it, right? What was that like? Because you come from a very structured background
Very
where
structured.
in the police department and fire department, you call someone lieutenant, they walking around
Correct.
with their chest out.
Their
Right.
chest
You did not do that.
No, but to me, it's a title, and I've never been a title person. Even in the police department, you don't call me sarge, you call me whatever. It doesn't bother me because I know my worth. I know my ethics. I know what my job is, and I know how to produce. So therefore, a title's a title. Whether you call me chief or you call me whatever,
Whatever.
just don't call me boy.
Yeah, yeah.
We
We
had
know.
something.
We know. We know.
But but
Don't call him boy, people. Okay?
No.
Not boy.
but it's a title.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the work has to be done.
Yep.
If I don't do it, then the company suffers. If she doesn't do her part, the company suffers.
Yeah.
So it's a joint venture.
Yeah.
So a title's a title. I don't
So,
care.
so with that being said, how do you guys not intertwine into each other's roles?
Can I
Because
answer that?
the title keeps you like.
Right. So, okay. So you want me to just start with the problem? So the problem is everybody wants to be in control and everybody wants to do everything. People have to have their roles and they have to stay in their lanes. They have to do their jobs. So if you're doing marketing, recruitment, finance, then that's what you do. If you're doing billing, recertifications, payroll, then that's what you do. It just keeps everything clean, but it also gives a line of accountability. Because if everybody's doing everything, then if there's a mistake, who do you go to? Or if there's a question, who answers it? right? And so we've just learned how to stay in our lanes. I navigate the staff in the office, I talk to the hospitals, the parents, and that's my job.
Yeah.
When there is a billing issue, a packet needs to go in, a question with authorizations, I don't know that part. They have to call Tony, and then he masters his job. So what you'll find is because we both master our jobs, you'll find that compliance is always being met. And that's it. That's
So
the
you
key.
guys streamlined it by making sure everybody has their own job description.
Everybody has their own job description.
And not focused on the title.
No.
Right? So, Tony, can you please tell people that are focused on the title why they shouldn't be focused on the title? I know you said it, but just narrow it down.
It's a title. It's a title. It doesn't mean anything.
There's no importance
There's
in
no
it.
importance in the title. You're the owner. You know you're the owner. We're the owners. We know we're the owners. If somebody were to come in and they think she's the receptionist, or I'm the receptionist, or I'm the janitor,
Doesn't
it's
matter.
Fine.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
I
matter.
tell
You know.
all my employees at my restaurant, if somebody can point out that I'm the owner, there's a problem.
Right.
Everybody should have enough pride and respect in this business that we all look like owners. And the only reason people think I'm the owner, it's not because I tell people what to do. They just might see me pass by the garbage and throw something away. I'll sweep them. I'm saying, how's your day? So I take that, and it has nothing. I don't even
It's
know.
just your
I don't even
presence.
have a title.
Yeah.
Yeah, your presence,
don't.
your aura, you
don't.
exude it, and that's the thing. Without we could walk into a room, the three of us, and they'll know,
Yeah.
hey, he's an
And
important.
we've
she's
been
a-
like that when we were going to clubs. It's like, man, if your shirt looks wrinkled, I'm telling you before we go to the
Right.
clubs,
That's
like
right.
we all got to be fly. Like, well, okay, let's go shopping. We're gonna, hook it up. So that mentality's been with us since
Yep.
day one. We
Yep.
do a lot of things with the family, and nobody in our family, nieces and nephews included, can look like they left out. We
Right.
got to look out for them and stuff like that. But I want to ask you guys this because it's super dope that you guys started this, right? And I've talked to you about this, and probably you when you stopped the other company. What's crazy is you went into business to help other people.
Yes.
You could have been selfish.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't helping people with shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right? And so you took on, but you still continue to mentor people.
Yeah.
And a lot of home care companies that are around in Georgia right now are around because of you.
Right.
And so where did that come from? Because I know I've talked to God and be like, why didn't you give me the spirit of selfishness?
Right,
'Cause
right.
I did the same thing. I started over and then God made me a servant again.
You're right.
So
right.
where did that come from? And that was for the both of you because you both are unilaterally in your decision makings, right?
Right, yes. I just felt like our culture, we needed someone to be able to help anyone and everyone and show them the blueprint. And that is, I felt like, honestly speaking, that's what our culture lacked. We weren't trained to help each other. And I just wanted to be out there and help everybody and show them there is a way to be able to, either whether you have a college degree or if you don't have a college degree, you deserve to eat.
Yeah.
You deserve to have a way to support your family. And that's just what it was about.
Nice. And you, Tony?
And with that said, to me, it's a two-part answer. Is what do you gain by not helping somebody? You think you think you're gaining because, oh my God, I got it. I'm gonna hold it for myself. They might run into you, and you're gonna show them the exact same thing, and what they're gonna surpass me.
Yeah.
So why block your blessings?
Yeah.
I've learned from my mom at a young age. Growing up in Haiti, I grew up Catholic.
Hold on. He gonna cry when he get in the car.
No crying.
I was just kidding.
No,
You ain't
but
Joe.
I grew up Catholic, and there was a particular Saint's Day, and I remember it vividly. We'd go outside, set up tables like we're having a big party, and we would go round up all the homeless people, bring them to the house,
Shout out to Gisland.
and cook, feed them in the front yard, bro. So the spirit of giving has always been. The thing that you will see is sometimes it's hard to give when you don't have.
Yeah.
So when you don't have, it makes it look like, oh my God, he's not giving. No, I don't have nothing to give.
Yeah.
I can only, either I'm going to deprive my entire family and
Right.
they don't eat so I can give, and I've learned as we've progressed in this industry, I give everywhere I go. I give.
What I learned from you though, Tony, it wasn't that you not so didn't have. People looked at you and thought you had it. But Tony, like Candace said, was so like credit driven and bill driven
Conservative.
that you had it, but it was already allocated. right? It was like, hey, I got to keep paying these things. And you and I talked about this. Was it you that I said when you try to save someone that's drowning, they actually pull you
Correct.
down
Well,
with
Yeah.
no,
them
yeah, we had
instead
that
of just throwing
conversation
them a life
yesterday.
jacket. They want you to dive in, and you see it all the time. People end
Yeah.
up drowning the person that went to
Yeah.
save them, right?
Right.
So, but you've had that mentality at a young age. So people have to understand. Well, I say this to say, when someone says they don't have it, yeah, they can still like do certain things, but if you pay attention to them, their money's just allocated. But people just think that because you're spending it, you have it, but it's already allocated.
Exactly.
And if I hurt my bills, then what happens? You're stopping me from really being able to be in a position to help you.
Right.
It becomes a snowball effect.
Yeah.
If you hurt your bill, it hurts your
Credit,
credit.
yeah.
You hurt your credit. That bill that was $250 is going to raise to $300 because your credit
Yeah.
lowered.
Right,
So
yeah.
now you're a higher risk. It's all you got. It's all in
But
perspective.
if
all
people don't
relative.
understand economics and understand how
Yeah.
people thinking,
And what happens is, unfortunate, it's the way we were taught, our upbringing. We're not educated that
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
financially.
None
That
of us,
financial
our
None of
parents
us.
had that.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what you do. This is what you. But you know, you were budgeting
And I
checkbooks
got
at like
that from my
5 years
dad.
old.
I got
Yeah.
that from my dad. My
Yeah.
dad was the director of the National Bank in Haiti, the director of the lottery. So I get my business sense.
Y'all had a lotto in Haiti.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a lottery here.
You played in one. Your dad hooked it up.
Yeah, he hooked it up.
Silly.
That's dope. So let me. I'm gonna go back and you guys got so much good information. I have to keep bouncing back and forth and forth. So if y'all go to church, you can stop going to church because Candace is a prophesizer, so she can prophesize things. If you need to know what your future is,
gosh.
you call Candace. I can't. No, I'm just kidding. But Candace, I remember a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, you literally said, "Hey, I'm going to make sure that all my people are millionaires." And it came to fruition. So I want you to talk to people about not when we weren't millionaires then, but you saw it, right? And one of the things that I listen to a lot of audiobooks about the power of manifesting.
Yes.
Gotta speak.
That's her.
I know, that's what I'm saying, right? She'll tell you who you're gonna be dating the whole night. No, I'm just kidding. But what again, I always ask what brought that into you, right? What made you say, wow, manifesting is real? And then why is that so important for not only just people starting a business, but couples? Because you had to manifest, my husband's going to be a part of this, right? I'm just making that up. I don't know if you did. I'm just about it knowing you.
As a couple.
Right? You're like, hey, we're going to make it. I'm going to do the manifesting for both of us. In fact, you were like, I'm going to do the manifesting for the whole family.
Right.
Right? Where did that come from? And why is that so important in business?
Well, I think that's important because you have to believe in yourself, right?
But where did it come from?
Well, it came from my relationship with Christ. You know, I pray every day. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning because that's when the souls are resting.
Even after the success.
After to this day, 4 o'clock in the morning, I get up every morning and I pray. I pray. I talk to God. I manifest my thoughts. I know what my day is going to hold. And I've done that for so many years. You have to ground yourself, right? Because then you'll be all over the place. And that doesn't mean you're not going to have challenges. That doesn't mean you're not going to have things that are make you question what you're doing. But it does mean that it's going to give you something to lean on. In the midst of any storm, I just lean on Christ, and I know I'm going to be fine. The other thing is I believe in self. You have to believe in the possibility of being able to do anything that you think of. I can do anything. We can do anything because I believe it. I honestly believe it. And so I just, whatever comes to mind, I just give it to God. I ask God to give me the clarity so that way I know if I should move in that direction or not. And if, through prayer and manifestation, if it is brought to me to go ahead and do it, I just move full force and I don't stop till I get to the finish line.
That's dope. That's dope, Tony. Have you ever manifested, or I know being around such a strong spirit?
Such a strong spirit. I would tell you, her dad, Horace, very same mindset. It's manifestation, the power of manifestation. But I do have to piggyback on what she said. It's about listening. A lot of times we ask God for guidance. He'll give it to us. We choose not to listen. We ignore whatever. He will tell you, no, it's not a good idea. He'll send you all the signs.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, no, we're still going to do that business venture. And, we end up failing. And it's the same, and I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent, But it's the same with our bodies. A lot of us don't listen to our bodies.
Yeah.
It'll tell you when something is wrong, and we choose not to
Yeah.
listen to it.
We all suffer
So
from a lack of discipline in certain
that's the
areas.
thing. It's
But
the
that's
discipline, and that's the thing. It's a lot of people don't have. I'm glad you said that. A lot of people don't have the discipline. They don't have the discipline and the endurance because they think that it's gonna be overnight success. They're not here for the long run. The
So-
sleepless nights. The oh my God, where are we gonna get the money? We're not getting paid, but you got to pay your staff.
So, what has been the most thing that you had to discipline being married to your business partner? What's the thing that you go, oh shit, I didn't know I had to do this, but I have to be disciplined in this area, even if it's I have to listen more.
That's the one, I guess.
That's how I
Listening
called
and
it out. I kind of figured that.
Yeah, listening and communicating more. I listen, but everybody listens differently.
Yeah.
It's the communication.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
First
just
step.
because I'm not engaged like this doesn't mean I'm not listening. Just like when you guys
Yeah.
were speaking, I was focused, but I was right here, but I'm listening. I'm tuning in.
But you listen differently. And this, again, this is a family podcast, so I can be honest and be real with you. Listen more now to understand because you are very like dot the I's, cross the T's. So most of the times it might be something that you're right, but you're really not because it's her opinion, right? So it's like, but this is this. And it's like, no, you can't be right at this all the time. You got to just listen to understand. And,
Yep.
you know, we say it all the time. It's like, there's no right or wrong. It's just I have to understand how you feel. But so I see you listening more now when well, let me understand Candace instead of trying to prove my point to her.
Which also goes back to your circle. You have to surround yourself with people who are willing to give you the hard truth.
To call you out, yeah.
Or, not the yes sirs just because, hey, we're going out and
Yeah.
whoever's flipping the bill,
Mm-hmm.
I got to
Yeah.
agree with him. If Tony's wrong, hey, Tony, you were wrong. Hey,
Yeah.
Carlos, you were wrong. Hey, Ken, you were wrong.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid to do that.
That is a good thing because one of the things that I talk to people about so many times is be comfortable with having uncomfortable conversations. But y'all on a whole nother level with that because I got to sleep with this person. So when did that come? And just talk to people about how do they deal with that? Like, because you know the person. It might be easier for y'all because you know the person loves you.
It's not easy all the time because it's a
easy.
real relationship.
Yeah.
And so you just have to choose your battles. Everything is not a fight. There are times when you just have to be willing to have a conversation. And you don't have to win every conversation. You don't have to be right in every conversation. So sometimes it might just be that you say what you have to say and walk away, and don't
Yeah.
wait for a response that's going to be suited for you because you might not get it. And that's okay.
I like that though. Don't have to get the response right away.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
And
dope.
it took me a long time to learn that because I would just be like, well, okay, so let's talk about it. Let's get a response. Let's da. And he's not that type of person.
Yeah.
So for me now, I just say what I have to say, and then, we usually come back to it, whether it be in the next 24 hours or 48 hours, or we talk about it in that moment. But I do feel like we've grown quite a bit over the years. I mean, we've been together, how many years? 24?
60, 65?
24 years. It feels like it sometimes, right?
Look, yeah.
And so in 24 years of being together in a relationship, I have learned that everything is not the end of the world. You just got to say what you got to say, and it's okay.
Tony, you want to make it on that or you good with
No,
that?
I'm good with that. She's right.
Okay, so see, that's the best way to do it too. Just she's right. Well, yeah, no, I agree. But let me ask you guys both this, right? So, husband and wife, now 3 kids,
Yeah.
married. Now, one thing that people don't pay attention to is the balance between work, life, soccer. Well, your kids played volleyball. One's going off to college in Miami, right? Then the other one's like, so, and I've seen you, Candace, come home, still cook. I've seen you, Tony, getting your camera ready to record somebody's soccer game. What has been the key? Because I've never seen a disruption in that, to be honest with you. I've never heard like, oh, she wants me. Like, you guys have always been hands-on with, hey, I'm going to take Nala and then you're going to take Gabby. What would you tell people to be? Because again, we want people to understand how to work as a couple. How did y'all make that work? Because starting another business, mentoring people, but I still got my daughter. Then y'all had 2 dogs. It's like y'all was trying to,
Yeah.
And then so delegating, was that part of it?
You do what you like, because Tony was more of the he was a perfect active
do
dad.
what you like.
He did the sports, he went to all the games, and he sat in the car, that was his thing, because he liked to do the videoing and, was there cheering the kids on and things of that nature. And for me, I like a clean house. So it was just like, okay, he's got that. I'm going to make sure that the house is spotless. I like when anybody comes in, the house looks the same. And I like to talk to the children. What's going on in your life? How do you feel? What do you need from me or your dad? And so, sometimes it would look like I was getting more out of the kids emotionally, but it's not. It's like he played his role and I played mine. I was the nurturer. Come, lay on mommy, and then he's like, okay, let's go. We got to run. We got to do this. And so it just kind of balanced itself.
This is crazy how you guys, I don't know if you see it, but you've taken, the business model from your house and say, I'm going to play my role, Tony's going to play his. You just said a few minutes ago, I'm the people's person. I'm going to be out there. But the same thing, you're doing that with your kids.
Yeah.
Tony's done now. It's like, camera's ready. This is ready.
Yeah.
So almost subconsciously, you guys have taken your house and made it a business and just said, hey, we're just going to transfer the same energy and delegation to our actual business, right? So would you tell people that's a good way
That's
to
a good
run
way,
it?
yeah.
Everybody
It's a
has
good
their
way.
task. So now you're not in the car trying to fix the cameras.
No.
And
I'm
Tony's
staying in my lane. I'm doing what I'm good at. I'm doing what I'm comfortable doing.
Yeah.
What is, makes me feel like it's not work, it's not painful. And same for him. And I just want to share one other thing that I think
Sure.
is so important. Because I think the demise of a lot of relationships is financial. And for Tony and I, over the years, what we've learned that works for us is we keep separate monies. Tony has his money, and I have my money. We pay all the bills together, and we make sure every single bill is paid. But I think, being in a relationship and in business together, it's nobody asking, can I buy this? Can I do this? That to me is just not going to be part of the equation of a woman like me.
We're all adults too.
Exactly. And we're all individuals. So I feel like in relationships, part of the issue most people face is they lose their individuality. And I like to say that, have your own money. So that way, if you go out and say, I buy a $10,000 Chanel bag, it's not a big deal. It's my money.
Yeah.
I don't have to come and sit down and feel like I have to beg or coax my spouse, because that's when the resentment comes in. Because 9 times out of 10, the spouse is going to be like, well, can't we do something else with that? Do we have to get a
Y'all
Chanel
look at
bag?
money differently.
Yeah.
But, that's when, and then all of a sudden the need from the woman perspective is kind of diminished. So if you have your own money, your own account, and you decide you want to do something for yourself, you can just go ahead and do something for yourself. And I think that's what I really want to share out there.
No, that's dope. Even though you're a couple, you still have your own identity, right?
Yeah.
Always.
I love that.
Because it's a good thing she brought that up, because I was going to bring up a similar situation. Because if you put both of us in the mall with $10,000, I'm gonna come back home with $9,500.
Most men, and most women be like,
$500 is because she probably borrowed the extra $5 because she had to pay the taxes on her. So it saves
True.
a lot of headache.
It does.
It does.
A lot
Like
of communication.
so wait, I know this now, but what made you go, okay, I'm gonna relinquish, or was it always like that?
No, it wasn't
No.
always like that. We did the joint account,
Oh, doesn't work.
and it didn't work because
Because we're different.
we're different. When she would pay the bills, she's like, all right, I got to pay all the bills. I'm like, but we can't pay all the bills because there's not enough money. She's like, I will have it next week.
Yeah.
But in that time, you've accrued an
Interest.
insufficient fee that now takes away from next week's bill. And then
Candace is an entrepreneur. You're corporate, and y'all just made it work, right? Corporate is like everything has to be paid on time. Me and Candace like, no, we got 3 more patients on the pipeline. Roll the dice, buddy.
Yep.
But it's gotten you to where you're at.
Yes.
You guys got one of the most successful companies, and the crazy shit is that y'all started over and still.
Yeah.
But you know, the funny thing is, this whole time we've been talking about it, we never even mentioned the company's name.
We don't have to.
Oh, okay.
We get to the end.
All right.
When I say, how do people want to talk to you?
Yes.
Apparently, Candace, Tony wasn't paying attention when I said, if you want to tell people how to get in touch,
He was
with
I
you,
looking
wasn't
at
paying
this.
attention.
He was looking at this.
looking at that. Okay, so yeah,
That's okay.
we got you. It's
That's
almost,
okay.
how much time we got left, Melanie?
We've been filming for about 45 minutes.
So we are there.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Tony, you was right on cue.
Yeah, I know, man.
All right. So if I could leave people with, like, from both of you guys, think about it. Couples, and I kind of led you. So some of the questions I've asked, it's because the people I mentor are couples or even friends,
Yeah.
right? That just can't get it right.
Right.
right? And sometimes you spend more time with that business partner than you do your spouse.
Right.
So if anybody has good advice, it's y'all.
Right.
Right?
Thank you.
But I think one of the great things is, hey, I still have my own identity.
Yeah.
Candace, you be going to concerts.
Yeah.
You travel. Tony's like, I'm going to watch the football game at
Yeah.
home. Ain't nobody trying to force the next person's thing, but it's such relevant to how, like you said, you ain't trying to force the way you work on him, and y'all ain't,
Yeah.
right?
We're individuals.
So what would be the thing that you would leave? I want you to do two things.
Sure.
I want you to talk to the women about how you support your spouse or how you work well with them, right? And then Tony, I want you to talk to the men about, like, just quick 1-2 minutes
Yeah.
about what would you tell people from your experiences, whether good or bad. It's all a matter of perception of like, hey, this is what da 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 da, right?
Yeah.
So ladies first.
Thank you.
No
Okay.
worries. And Tony, you can look into that camera.
So I think to the women, to the ladies, I would say always keep yourself as an individual. You are in unison with your partner, but you are absolutely yourself. For me personally, just feeding my soul, praying, meditating, just loving on me, giving myself grace, being patient with myself, all of those things help me to get through my day. They help me to be the best version of myself. And just remembering that at the end of the day, we have one life, live it. You work hard, so play as hard as you work.
I love it. Tony?
And to the guys, it's don't lose your identity. It's, we're men. We will be men. We know some of the roles that are attached to men, but treat your woman like a woman. Treat her right. And in that same breath, have that you time where you and your guys are hanging out. And it's going to help. It helps a lot. Just allows you to be you and be that guy that you are. And when you come back home, we go back to business and being family and the husband, the wife, the boyfriend, whatever it is. But that's it. Just do
So
you.
basically what she said.
In a different way. Well, I don't think she mentioned.
You could have just got on the phone and said just what she said.
Yeah.
But I remember
Ditto.
someone
Ditto.
even at the thing, you and I had that conversation before money. I was like, bruh, go play basketball. Do something. Have your own identity because you will die trying to be consumed, controlling the next person.
Yeah.
Right? You remember those conversations?
Yeah. And it goes back to like I was gonna say also is, like she said, love yourself. If you ask my kids, it'll tell you. This big boy right here loves himself.
Was it
big.
always there? Did that was like
I've
something
always
Candace?
been like that.
Okay.
No, I've always been like, if you don't love yourself, who's gonna love you? So that's always been my motto. I've instilled that in my kids. It's, boys will come, boys will go.
Yeah.
But if you don't love yourself and you're happy with yourself, then you're never gonna find that happiness.
Yes. So Tony is known for saying certain great things, and there's one thing that I want to elaborate on. I want you to just tell people this, and then Candace, I'm gonna go back to you. Is also live your dashes.
Live your
right?
dash.
What
Yes.
does that mean to you?
What does that mean to me? First of all, if you ever see a car riding around with that tag, that's me.
Yeah.
So basically, your dash symbolizes your entire life. On your tombstone, you're gonna have your birth date. You're gonna have the day that you die, and in the middle, you're gonna have a dash, and that dash is gonna represent your entire life from birth to death. And I'm a firm believer in live your dash, live your life,
I
because
love it.
tomorrow's not promised.
Yes, I remember that. You said that at your father's funeral, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. So some things people say that just sticks with you, and I've seen it since, but I always tie it to you because that was the first time.
And unfortunately, it's not my original quote. I don't remember where I saw it.
But it's stuck.
But it's stuck.
It's stuck. And what do you think, Candace? You said so many things I can't keep track of, but what's that one thing that you feel like outside of your power to really just believe in what the future shows outside of what the present looks like?
Listen, the power of manifestation is real. We are all entitled and deserve anything that our heart desires. So I would say to everybody listening, ask yourself what you really want. You got to go deeper sometimes. Figure out what you really want, put the work towards whatever it is that you really want, and fulfill it. And when you get there, appreciate it. That's what we lack in this culture is appreciation and gratitude. have appreciation for what you've accomplished
And humility.
and humility and embrace the small milestones. Everything doesn't have to be big and grand. The small milestones are just as important as the big ones, right? Because that's the buildup.
Yeah.
So I would just say, yeah, just believe in, yourself and move forward.
I love, love, love. So what you guys hear is what you're going to get because they built a culture in their business that represents the same things that they're saying right now. It reminds me of a time where I talked to people and I was like, God said to me one time, life is like football. Tony, you could kind of relate to this. When we were kids and playing football, we would all get in a huddle and then the quarterback would always say, just go deep. And you're like, no, I can make it. He's like, just go deep. I'll get you the ball. We didn't understand it, but even God tells us sometimes, just go play.
deep.
I got you. I'm going to get the ball to you. You don't have to, don't run around. Just run deep, right? And so I love what you're saying because it's sometimes like, just see yourself in that.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
And God got you. He'll get the ball to you.
Yeah.
Right? Take that one step,
Yeah.
that small milestone. Don't worry about the big splash.
Exactly.
Right? So the same people you guys see here, trust me, believe me, they are the same people that run this $1 million home care. It doesn't matter the money. They have the same personality that will give you and your family the assurance that they are getting quality care. I know I say we don't do plugs, but I just got to do it because they are who they preach. They practice what they preach. They've helped many people. So that shows the unselfishness in getting into this business and showing people that this is why we're successful. It's because our why is bigger than the money, right? So when people see this and a social worker, case manager, a family that doesn't like where they're with or who they're with, I love these two. How do I get in touch with them?
You can call us at Affinity Pediatrics, and our office number is 678-782-3513. Our team is strong. We will care for your child. We will care for your family member. And we'll just make sure you're okay. And if we can't help you, we will get you to someone that can.
That's dope. How about an email?
An email, C-Mellon. So it's CMELLON at Affinity, AFFINITY, Pediatrics, with an S, PEDIATRICS.com. C-Mellon at affinitypediatrics.com gets you directly to me. So if there's any communication or any chatting you want to do, or if you need any guidance or advocating, feel free. You have the number and you have our email. I'll be there to help.
And if somebody wants to see your website,
It's www.affinitypediatrics.com.
There you
we'll
go.
have all the links on our YouTube channel for you guys to click on. If you want to talk to Mr. Mellon or Mrs. Mellon, they are here for you guys. If you guys have a patient or a baby, a pediatric patient that you don't like the care they're getting, or you just want to try something better, something a little bit more comfort, and it feels like it's your family member taking care of that patient, you want to call Mr. and Mrs. Mellon, Candace, and Tony. Thank you guys.
Thank
For
you.
being on
Thank
the
you
Healthcare
for having
CEO.
us.
We're about to take some pictures and get the heck up out of here. I got my son's soccer game. Love y'all. Let's get it going.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.